everybody, and welcome back to Movie Files. Here on our channel, we love talking about our favorite shows. We break down the latest trailers. We do unboxing videos for the new releases and also do giveaways to show our appreciation to you all. And like today, we also do movie reviews. So if that sounds like something you would like to see on a weekly basis, we'll definitely do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification bell to stay up to date with our latest videos. So today I have a brand new spoiler-free review of the new film, The Curse of La Llorona, which I had an early screening for. And I am here to share with you all the good, the bad, give you my score at the end of this video, so stick around to that. And also, I'll give you my rankings of the films in the Conjuring universe so far. So before I do that, do me a favor, start your commenting now. Let me know what you thought of this film, and also let me know what your rankings are of the Conjuring films in the universe thus far. So with that being said, let's get into this review. All right, first and foremost, I always like to start off with the positives of the film, and I have to start with the director, Michael Chaves, who I was looking at very closely because he will be the director of the next Conjuring film, which has been James Wan's baby. He's created this universe. He took a lot of time to create this world, so I was interested to see how he was going to do in this film, and for the most part, I think that he did a good job, and I'm very confident in his abilities to direct a new Conjuring film because the way he was able to guide the actors in this film was pretty solid, but also one thing that I really paid attention to was, and that really stood out to me, was the use of camera. In a lot of horror films, they kind of don't look at that as the key features of the film because sometimes, you know, you have a really good set piece of action or a good scare coming up, but if the director doesn't know how to use the camera, it's not really an effective scene. But the way he was able to create these creative usage of water and creating light in the film, I thought that he did a really good job of creating these tense-filled moments, and I'm really looking forward to The Conjuring 3. In particular, going back to that camera use, I can think of scenes like there's a pool scene that involves a little girl. There's a scene that involves a car with the boy and the girl in the car, and the way he was able to create the motion of camera. And also, there's this one scene very early in the movie that involves a hallway and these two little boys that I thought was just shot beautifully. And again, I thought Michael did a really good job of creating a lot of tense-felt moments throughout this film. Going back to the performance of this movie, we have our main actress, Linda Cardellini, who I'm a big fan of, and she did a really good job in this film. I think I'm kind of spoiled at this point in looking to have this bar set for mothers in horror film compared to Toni Collette and Emily Blunt in last year's film, but she did a really good job. You know, she was very believable. I thought the relationship between the mom and her kids was very organic and very natural, and throughout the film, you really were rooting for the family, and that's one thing that, you know, in horror films, if you're not rooting for the family, it really kind of doesn't really matter what happens. But I was rooting for the family. I wanted everything to work out for them. I wanted things to be resolved for them. So all in all, performances are really great. But also, probably my standout for the entire film was Raymond Cruz, who we know as Tuco in Breaking Bad. He really did a good job in this film. He's in the film at the beginning, but he really had a lot of time and screen time in the second and third act, and I thought that he was great in the sense of creating some comedy moments that landed for the most part, but also just his character in general was probably my favorite part working on this film. All right, so one more thing before I jump into my negatives. I will say that for the most part, the third and final act of the film worked on many levels. I'll get into the bad, but for the most part, I thought that the tension and the scenes and the creativity of adding more lore to the Curse of La Llorona, this character, the Weeping Woman, I thought that he added some new things from this folktale that was really unique and added some levity and added some, again, some more depth to the character. And I thought that the actual La Llorona was an interesting creature design, and I thought that the lore was there, and in the beginning of the film we kind of learn about how she became who she is, and also just the myth and the legend around it. So I thought that the exposition for the most part wasn't just dumped upon us. They explained this character in a natural way, and I really enjoyed that. But again, I thought that the third act, and that's a big thing with horror films, sometimes the third act doesn't really give you the best experience, but I thought that the third act for the most part landed for me. So jumping now into the negatives, I will say that this film, for the most part, for half of the movie, there's really no jokes or light scenes in the film. But then, like I said, they have this this character who's an ex-priest played by Raymond Cruz. And I thought, again, his character was in the film for the most part, but he really gets a lot more screen time in the second half. And he injects this humor to the film, which was, to me, a little jarring because, again, there was no comedy up to his character really being involved in the storyline. It eventually got better as the comedy went on, but I will say there were some jokes that kind of landed flat and was a little jarring because we didn't get any comedy for half the film. So when they introduced it, it was kind of a little misplaced at times. Again, like I said, the actual design of La Llorona was fine, and the myth was there, and the lore was there, but I will say I was looking for a little bit more, because I think of Valak from The Nun. I thought that design was really cool in the Crooked Man and a lot of these creatures they introduced in this universe. But I will say she's probably my least favorite as far as look goes than the creatures that we got so far. I thought that they could have added a little bit more scariness to her, a little bit more more practical effects. But all in all, I wouldn't say disappointed, but I wanted more from the actual design of La Llorona. This is more of a nitpick because, you know, with horror films, we're going to get the jump scares, especially in the last 5 to 7 years. That's all it's about, is how effective are the jump scares. And for the most part, there aren't a lot of them that don't land, but there are some that really just fall flat for me. And there's some other nitpicking things I could do. Like, there's some plot points, plot hole issues that I have with the film. Some of the characters were really throwaway characters, and some of the moments in the film, again, whether it be the jump scares or the jokes, really didn't land for me. But that's kind of typical at some of these horror films. So all in all, a nitpick, but it was a negative for me. Alright, so overall thoughts. At the end of the day, I have to say I had a pretty good time in this film. It's not that I was expected to be disappointed, but I was surprised by how much I ended up enjoying it. I'm giving this film a 3.4 out of 5. Yes, it has its plot holes, and I wanted some more from the actual design of the creature, La Llorona. A little bit more character development there, because there were some throwaway characters. Some of the scenes fell flat in the sense of the tense moments, but all in all, I had a good time, and I would recommend you guys checking this out. If you've seen all the films in the Conjuring universe so far, I think you would enjoy it. Now, on to my rankings. I will have to say The Conjuring 1 and 2 is still my favorite. 1 in particular, and then 2 under that. And then I'll go ahead and put Curse of La Llorona in my 3rd spot. I have Annabelle Creation in my 4th spot. I have The Nun, and then wrapping up, I have Annabelle as my least favorite film in the universe. So again, let me know what you guys' rankings are. Let me know what you thought of the film. As always, like and share this video. Subscribe to our channel. Make sure you're following us on our social media accounts. And also, we have a new giveaway going right now for Glass, so check out that video to see how you can win that movie. Thank you guys for watching this review, and we'll see you on the next one.